NiKo with the USP in his hands. Is he going to be rip-roaring? Ooh, opens it up with a nice connection onto Rain at least, and sends him packing. But they begin to make their move towards camera with the backup of ropz on the late lurk towards A main.
Nexa firing off some shots, but not really connecting. And although NiKo gets one, it's a one and done. And now Nexa is stuck between two players. Broky doesn't require backup, though. He's going to do it all alone and force the plant down along the process.
The backbreaker of this round has already caused issues. But it's forZe that gets first contact. P250 punishment on MOUZ, and bye-bye Hunter as his head goes flying. All down to hookzy. Brains of the operation, but has he got the brawn for this one, Vince?
It's a great shot from Broky. forZe are going to try and do just that. He wants to be the problem. Oh. But NiKo has the solution, and it's the Deagle. How many times have we seen NiKo put that weapon to use? In the meanwhile, though, Karrigan, a Hunter may not be long for this world if Karrigan has his way, and the MAC-10 sprays down. There's the jumping shot. They do go in for it, and they're being sent packing from the...
The best case scenario is stack and gamble. A very heroic Deagle lays waste to Karrigan as he slays the in-game leader, and they are going towards the stack site, Vince. MOUZ's Deagle sings for one, but that's all it is, a flash in the pan.
In the alcove, has the flash, can try and deny this plant, but Rain leaping up and down. Has the Estonian of ropz alongside him to dig him out of that ditch. And
for NiKo, he knows there's a buy coming into the next round, so just finding some damage with the MAC-10 would have been the move to make. Problem is, forZe was ready.
In the meanwhile, though, it's Broky that's afforded that luxury. HE's being tossed in as well, and there was a good flashbang placement. They go in for this peek, he flicks down, but he misses. And now desperately requires that second player to come in, but it's another perfectly timed flashbang. forZe may stand his ground for one, but the damage has been done.
Doesn't blow them away. MOUZ up close behind the pillar, from pillar to post as he punishes with 2 frags on the M4, Vince. And now G2 are knocking a first round in this map, unless forZe can deny it. In the 1-on-3 clutch, being flanked towards spawn, a barrage of bullets comes his way, and NiKo slays him. And that's the bigger picture, right? It's the fact that their utility is what ruined his life, and it was them having the better decision-making into that round. Timeline there, when you expect forZe to find the frag on the spam through the smoke, but no, he's on the receiving end as Hunter headhunts his way through. Gets that opening pick. Karrigan looking to respond like ships in the night. They pass each other, Vince, but Karrigan doesn't realize. He gets his way tucked into the rear, strikes towards the site, 4x3. He doesn't notice hookzy.
So that's 2 huge scalps to take early doors. G2, 45 seconds left on the clock. Gonna try and repel this push, but it's gonna be Rain going in first. NiKo has his back turned, but hookzy's watching. He's anticipating, and more importantly, he's captivating this round and putting it in the pocket of G2. 2-player stack on the site, and that's gonna be good enough for MOUZ. And there is the second element of Nexa. And Karrigan decides to turn up the pace, turn up the heat, as he'll be taking first point of call. Putting himself in the firing range so that his young plucky that puts an end to the push. This round will be falling underway of G2, and it should just be the one casualty. Maybe Rain can find the opening, the gap, the chink in the armor to exploit. Can't quite expunge hookzy in time, and Hunter goes in. There's Rain with 1, can't double up. Nearly a costly round for G2, but they do maintain 3 players.
It's going to be the first time we've seen both of them in a good position in terms of their full buys, and a much-win round for either team to assert some dominance into this first half. Contact play going down towards the canals, but ropz strikes on the A main contact. hookzy removed. The FaZe clan trio down towards canals begin to make their move up on connector. Exchange of Molotovs blocking off access for both team. Time going to be tight as well. 50 seconds on the clock, Vince. Pop flash out. forZe will be pushed, but he strikes and slays Hunter.
It's a huge entry, puts way more pressure now on MOUZ, but he's shown he's more than capable of weathering the storm. However, Broky turns into a category 5 and blitzes through the site. There's ropz once again. Nexa can do little but save.
They're looking good, shooting hard into this one. And for Nexa, survival of the fittest is what he wants, but ropz is ready and rock solid. The B-site bombardment. Fighting in towards connector, NiKo strikes with Hunter to open up as the cranium of Rain goes flying away. ropz and Karrigan pick up a frag apiece, and the battle gets close. ropz inside of the smoke, the developer himself cheesing his way into the backline as he'll take down the brains and leave it on a 2v2. Fighting out through Temple though, Vince, he's already got out to the lip. But Nexa More skin in the game than only Pixel in a round like this. So 1v2, can he pop off? Misses the shot, time ticking, walking into the back where ropz is waiting, and the round secured by FaZe.
Double peek out from main, but it's just USPs. That's really all G2 can hope for. Brokey says, not today, HooXi. Shuts him down.
They've had limited success on their fights towards B.
Missed a couple of shots so far today. Not going to get punished this time, though, as karrigan is there to lend a helping hand as ever on spot. What may be a little bit concerning here for G2 is that although some of those big players maybe not always popping off, Hunter was one of the main men in those previous 2 games, and he's had a very slow start. 2-8 so far to his name. That may need to change if G2 want to turn their fortunes around.
Middle of the pack at the minute in terms of the overall frags. It's NiKo that's been the showstopper, and through the smoke he strikes with 2, Vince.
Bruh. Oh, Jesus. If you're FaZe, you shrug your shoulders like, what just happened? NiKo did.
Nade round on camera to try and force back the CTs. The utility flying over the top of the head of ropz, and he's removed. A missed shot from Brokey as m0NESY lays claim to another pickup. And the round goes the way of G2. 6-4 now.
Time is beginning to get scarce, though. So FaZe, they've got a lot of little pieces all around the board, but they've got to try and make a move together. And m0NESY, oh, he has such a good read of this game. Constantly finds those smoke pushes. And now HooXi has to try and go from strength to strength, but he gets shut down. m0NESY now with the AK spray. Trading out from karrigan's AK-47 is putting it to use against his oncoming troops and gets the 3rd as well. A 4K in the round for m0NESY secures G2 their 5th, and they decide they want to try and just get super aggressive. Molotov and the HE, a ton of damage to karrigan and Rain, and they're going to continue to push forward into another Molotov. Through one fire into another. Feet singed, burning alive, but froZe gets 1. An extra Molotov onto the site. Denies the bomb plant for a bit, allows NiKo and m0NESY to do their work. And our ropz at range may tap in for a frag, but it's a great cost. He has plenty of time. M4 picked up. This grenade touches down from Hunter. And we are going to have a tied up 6-6. 3 rounds back and forth throughout.
HooXi can smoke over, block off access from camera. Early flashbang towards A main. m0NESY leads the charge. He wants to deliver the pain. Goes in through the smoke, but ropz has already claimed 1. It's a bit of a back and forth, Vince, but most of the damage now comes from NiKo. 3 frags, keeps on going with the backup of his brother in arms, and they secure the pistol in seconds. Steps through the smoke, enters the domain of ropz, waiting with the MP9. Damage established, Vince, but a mere tag, no frag on entry. Camera's been contained, and they're into the site.
Oh dear, ropz, you're in for a world of pain, and it's Hunter that takes him down with the MP9.
Headstrong, he takes them on. karrigan for G2's T side, meaning there might be a couple more rebuys than first expected. But Nexa, with the support of m0NESY, strikes back. Rain's Deagle washes away 2.
Torches back, Brokey needs to connect the shot, and indeed he shall. It's m0NESY, at least a weakened player that goes down. With his assault rifle, and there is ropz to pick up the pieces. A main has now been locked down. It's going to force the rest of the T's to try and get aggressive through mid, but ropz is keeping himself alive with that counter flash. Spray in from froZe does a ton of damage, but not the kill. And ropz also misses out. NiKo on 7, HooXi on 39 in this 2-on-2. It is a winnable endeavor though, but there's karrigan from Cams. And that could be an end to this round as Rain shoulder peeks in, finds himself NiKo. And although NiKo is outgunned, we know he has the aim. However, Rain will deny him this time.
From how FaZe are playing it. Waiting behind the smoke. karrigan using the edge of the smoke, spamming through to give himself vision. Strikes on 2.
It's a HE collectively. 2 HEs now on G2. An incendiary, but a weakened Brokey and a dead ropz. Probably put an end to any hopes of a re-engage here, but they're still going to press forward. Brokey gets caught with a grenade out. They've dealt with these kind of situations many a time, but ropz getting aggressive there, gets neutralized. 2 players were just waiting for him.
ropz has put down the welcome mat to the A site and invited G2 in. They've got muddy shoes and they do not give a damn, Vince, as they take pace and take the control off of them. The only one that could deny the entry is the bouncer of froZe, checks the IDs and says no. 2 frags on contact. Rain with the Deagle needs to surprise and slay on contact again. Punishes with a follow-up frag.
He's still alive, he's still in the fight as well. There's still time for G2 if they can get some success, and NiKo puts down Rain, but it's at cost to his HP. m0NESY flicks up, misses, down to NiKo, 1-on-3, first kill goes his way, runs out of ammunition though, has to replenish, and so Frozen with the wide swing secures his third.
Well, the minute they try and take control towards middle, FaZe have set themselves up playing the extremities with a 3-player setup towards B and 2 of them gravitating towards A main. They've given control of camera to the CT side. Ooh, but the first 2 picks, they're in the A site, sure, Vince, but you don't have an easy time of closing this round down. They're getting information at least and starting to tag up FaZe. It's all falling away. m0NESY murders 2. Nexa chimes in on Brokey, and it's down to Frozen to again turn up. Can't do it twice.
Try and take the fight to G2. They've been very reactive rather than proactive thus far, FaZe on their CT side, and that's more like it. Brokey takes the shot, tosses in the smoke, denying entry once again. A minute left on the clock, and G2 are changing it up. Dropping down into the canals now. Big frag from Hunter, though, and karrigan gets caught with a smoke out. It's all coming apart here as Rain goes down to HooXi's hand on that MAC-10.
Big frags with a MAC-10 on entry, Vince. The drive-bys make a whole load of difference, and the B site crumbles. And the dying moments of this round, it has to be a Brokey highlight reel. He's got to keep himself alive and fight in the middle of a cell. Can't do it.
As it is a qualification game for the Major. And HooXi catches himself some more prey, runs in and takes ropz's head. Gets traded out, but there's Nexa for the repeat. Beautiful shot from Brokey, though, is keeping FaZe alive. G2 looking to maraud their way onto B to sack the site, to neutralize the CTs, and m0NESY is the man for the job. We'll have to wind in some pretty ridiculous 1-digs, and Hunter rejects that idea. That entire premise disgusts him. He wants an end to this first map. And Anubis is going to come to a draw. It's going to come to a close in just a few moments' time, unless Brokey can clutch this out with a deagle. 1 kill, but that's all he can muster. They're changing up the pace through catwalk into cave. Rain could be seeing multiple players in just a few moments, and it's HooXi with those Julies that puts him down. Frozen's there to return fire, but NiKo with the USP continues to keep G2 in the lead.
Big connections. m0NESY with the timing might be pulled off the angle that he needs to defend from. Problem is, karrigan couldn't deliver the killing blow quickly enough. So m0NESY returns, supports his teammate,
and it's pretty much signed, sealed, and delivered. And he falls prey to NiKo, as so many of his teammates have multiple times in this series. Brokey at least gets the plant down. It gives him something to play off. Beautiful headshot there, delivered onto m0NESY, but there won't be a double up. There will be no way forward for Brokey. That pretty much is going to be a red light in the face of FaZe. They cannot push through here. karrigan's going to try and get aggressive elsewhere, gets the upper hand onto HooXi. Switching weapons, gets punished. But at least he's keeping.
We hit the minute mark on this one. FaZe will be revving their engines for the play towards the A site. This is where you would need your anchor in Nexa to defend. Problem is, he got a little bit drawn off, went for the wrap round through Donut. It's the spam from Hunter to get the opening pick, and Frozen's been shattered. The MP9 takes a bite out of him, but Brokey battles back. 2 frags on the Galil. Bomb being planted, the CT's isolated towards the smoke. Meanwhile, NiKo pulls up and finds the first pick. It's all on ropz, Vince.
A player of extreme levels of calmness, but Hunter, wide swinging ropz, was caught in 2 minds. Should I watch CT or Donut?
A lot of eyes on them, a lot of stock on the team. Into this round though, with limited utility, they eat the nades. Lane control is firmly passed over to G2 as they control it. And a HE that strips away noise from karrigan and leaves him trapped. First frag found, mollies go over to block off the common positions here for the CT side. NiKo trapped inside of the cave with the backup of HooXi. They pepper through the wall bang, but no connection, Vince. Meanwhile, NiKo tries to bleed out on the side, but it's a 1-for-1 trade.
And considering that you have a HE, an incendiary, a flash, and 2 of the 3 players are just a couple of... It does afford a small gap in there, but the molly behind it could be a problem. Frozen now with the spray, gets 1, but that won't be good enough. And Brokey is already pieced out.
Few players yet to find impact into this one. ropz quiet at the minute, same could be said for Rain. And they get activated in this 4th round. Lane control continues to be easy to fight for G2, but karrigan hits the head of HooXi and shuts down the cave control.
Hunter needs help now. He needs his teammate of NiKo to come down and allow him safe passage to get the evac out of Cant. m0NESY with 2, though. And that second Tech-9 shot was a thing of beauty. Karrigan, though, is going to keep the dream alive, continues to get entries.
Teetering on the edge of the smoke, wanted to see if he had an opportunity to push in. They re-smoke, but he's already got ahead of it. Ooh, trying to play around the Molotov, but Karrigan's swing slices his head off. Meanwhile, Hunter strikes with one onto Rain, and it all falls onto NiKo. He's been having a huge series so far in a 1v2 with the back turned. He tries to strike, punishes onto Karrigan, losing a lot of his HP. Both of them doubling up to play against him. He gets the dink, Vince, but no frag and no round. FaZe get there first.
In just the 5th round, and we've reached a critical mass point in this game, and Hunter's been caught.
They've got G2's number now. They understand how to counter these early setups towards lane, and they're playing it differently. Not running into the nades, not getting battled back by the cave control. Instead, cutting off the rotation point and stopping them from doubling up on lane via middle. Karrigan also assaulting onto another player, so both Hunter and NiKo are down and out early. And you've got all the map control in the world now, Vince. You've got the setup with Karrigan in the backstab position towards CT. hookzy loses his face in a matter of seconds as well.
m0UZ with the freebie. Karrigan caught napping. Waiting for that rotational play to come in. Little did he know that m0UZ is still in with a chance. And while m0UZ is alive, there is a way forward. Finds the timing on the smoke. Neutralizes forZe. And in the meanwhile, long flank from Nexa. But m0UZ may not need anybody else. He may be about to do this all alone. ropz and Brokey stand between m0UZ in transition. Nexa now, though, has an opportunity with this MP9 at range. He tries to spray, but he can't get any kills. And with m0UZ on low hit points and no kit.
They're exiting out towards middle, though, through Donut. And this will be a shooting gallery. You're all going to be peeking into Brokey with the backup of forZe. One by one, the frags all fall in favor of FaZe. And they get nothing. Zilch, nada from the round. Using a lot of utility again to control towards cave here for G2. But he's got ahead of it. Default smokes go up as well. Block off Donut, block off CT, and see if they can fight out towards Temple side. Every line of sight is restricted for G2, but Nexa puts himself on a pedestal. The smoke's broken and Karrigan bursts, finding the early frag.
Oh, that smoke was so beautifully carved aside like Moses at the Red Sea, and it allowed FaZe to stampede their way across to a 4th. They breach the gap, they gulf it fully, and although m0UZ gets a parting gift, he is now last man standing. There is no way forward for m0UZ apart from through FaZe. And he's the kind of player that can make that happen, but forZe will deny him the luxury and opportunity. Yeah, that HE onto the smoke was delicious timing for FaZe.
It was stolen from m0UZ, now being used against the very player himself. Peeks out, but m0UZ still punishes. Hits the head on Brokey and leaves it down to him to defend the site. The Deagle keeps on singing, Vince. Frag after frag, he's holding back the wave.
They won't be able to deny the bomb plant. Nexa is playing with the food. They get in each other's way, and forZe shuts down ropz before he falls prey. Rain is last man standing, double sprays up, knows where Nexa is, and Rain will clutch. But FaZe so nearly threw that across the rocks. m0UZ, too hot to handle, has to fall back. It's a great cost, and Brokey finishes him off. And administered the mercy kill in the end. And now hookzy caught. It's still alive. Had a very good performance in the first map, but he's going to have to go above and beyond. Oh, the barrel, that AWP is going to give Karrigan's position away all day, every day, but Brokey spray control on point. hookzy, though, exploding out of cave, first in, and Rain again. 2 consecutive rounds with tons of impact, and FaZe extend their lead to 6-3.
Any inches to work with, any fine margins. Timing on this is going to be crazy, Vince. They adjust their crosshairs as there was another man pulling up to back them up towards middle, just as we saw the push down on lane. Karrigan being spammed at, the 5-7 nipping at his heels. m0UZ's Deagle unable to deliver the MP9. Good for one, but the 5-7 of Hunter claps back for another. Rain is continuing to be the beast for FaZe as he's making the difference round after round. Hunter shoots at the toes, but they stay alive. 20 seconds on the clock, Vince.
If Hunter can draw some fire, that could allow his cousin to come in and clean up the rest. He's got 1. But this is the 3rd round in a row that Rain is going to be required, and NiKo's going for the full on defuse. Are you serious, NiKo? The ice in this man's veins, and he snatches it. Breaks the heart of Rain, breaks his back. Full 10-second defuse.
But there's two players playing together for the run out. Meanwhile, they start to sell the idea that this is an A play. Nexa takes a ton of damage and loses his audio as they start to slip his way by karrigan on the front of the site, but he's slain, and you've still got that deep control. They're not going to bite and rotate offense, so they're able to hold it.
They're going to try and hold him here, but it's Hunter and Nexa that remain. Flashes and smokes being tossed in this post plant, and the shutdown is available. The spray on point from Frozen, and snatches the life away from G2. The flank, and his timing on these smokes, drawing out utility, cannot go unnoticed. It cannot go unchecked. It may go checked this round though, and Nexa still posts up 2 kills with that MP9 and keeps them away from the smoke. That's a fantastic individual performance from Nexa that could have just secured them so much going into this round. Nexa now gets another couple, doing it all alone with a 4K.
The A anchor that sinks the FaZe clan ship is going to be a big part of it. Early on, they set themselves up round towards the B site, fighting for lane. karrigan hits the head of m0NESY, takes 2 to the grave as he goes down with Nexa as well.
Well, he frags back and forth, but it's now FaZe taking the lead. Frozen still alive, still able to deliver some fatal blows if they overextend here. NiKo's out though, and he has full faith in his Glock aim.
Begins to make his move back round through CT. 50 seconds on the clock. NiKo curious about what positions are in play. Hunter peeks into it, and his head gets obliterated. NiKo with 1 though.
He's seen the script before with his full 10-second defuse. Brokey, he's not falling for it. He hears the sound cues. Brokey around the corner, and that is NiKo at his best. But I mean, MP9's tailor-made for these positions. Can understand fully why they've gone for it. They've seen the shadow of m0NESY. The wide swing though is not going to work, but you're not going to anticipate 2. But unfortunately, Rain has fluffed his lines and hasn't really done much damage in the process. I mean, barely scratching the surface.
It's all going a little bit west. Back round towards CT, fires off the scout shot, and they begin to pull the plug. They're backing off. You've also seen NiKo's made his move up towards Cave and finding the head of karrigan. Might as well have just saved the round for them. The rest are now going to be baited to push into the awaiting arms of m0NESY, still lurking towards A main.
And Hunter may not have had his best game, but he's still on the server. And Brokey getting 1 could have just saved his own life. Oh, so close. But he is going to fall prey to Nexa in the end.
But it makes so much of a difference to do it in the space of 3 games. 3 straight wins at the EU RMR. ropz, he wants to make it electrifying, Vince. And maybe that's the defibrillator to get their lifeline going and get them straight back into the game.
That's what you need. They have to tread lightly. Smoke's going to begin to fade. NiKo, as ever, in this best of 3 on point. Not missing a chance. Spray is good from NiKo, and now the AKs begin to rip and tear through FaZe clan. Yes, you got the cheekies use kill, but that's all you're going to get out of this round. As Brokey about to burn alive to the molly of Hunter, and G2 extend their lead.
They wanted to go fast up ramp, but they're denied the push. Nade bounces wide. NiKo hits the head. karrigan slain.
NiKo cracks open the site. And Rain, he was caught in the smoke for what would have felt like an eternity. Although Brokey does come back with 1, the site has been pillaged. Brokey going to try and plant that flag back down again with the FaZe colors, and it's ropz that joins him. The 2 of them have done it for now. But Hunter's brought us back into a 2-on-2. 1 minute 15 on the clock, but they've lost possession of the bomb. They could maybe fake out an over-rotation, but Brokey's having none of it. HooXi in a 1-on-2. If he can find the golden ticket here, it would have been huge for G2, but FaZe can breathe a collective sigh of relief.
The storylines would be there in droves. Early utility damage goes the same way.
Some protocols need to be changed, maybe a couple of extra HEs or a Molotov early on to stop this from happening. But the rot continues to spread as NiKo continues to lay down the law and lives of the FaZe clan players. FaZe at this point to fear the Reaper. The Reaper, of course, is omnipresent, as is karrigan, it would seem. IGL on IGL action, although m0NESY will make sure that there will be no brains behind the operation, continuing in terms of brute force with the MP9. Nexa in the meanwhile, though, walks his up ramp, and he's going to get the same results, but he does get traded back. 3-on-3.
ropz on the box, plays the off angle. Flashbang out through Cave, it'll blind Hunter, but too little too late. And can deny this push onto the site, slow down the retake with the utility. Frozen, wielding the AWP, misses the initial headshot. ropz good for 1, and it's all on Frozen now.
Zero respect for the potential wide swing, and there's the headshot from NiKo.
They've not really got anything to battle back. Slow down, G2. Do to them what is being done to FaZe. And hookzy creeps in through the cave, slays Karrigan. m0NESY already scoped, finds the adjustment as broky's gone. Back turn for Rain as well, Vince. This is only going to get worse as the time ticks.
And they seem to have a good read of the situation. They anticipate a three-player stack. They know there's more than enough time, ample opportunity for a rotation to have already nestled itself onto the sights on NiKo, taking no prisoners and taking no chances. Takes the head of Rain and shoves it away from the side. Hunter with a spray, and ropz. I don't think many people would have gave them a chance to win this best of three. I certainly think very few people would have said they 2-0 the series.
It's unbelievable scenes. And it's a huge return to form. You need that resilience. But more than that, you need a change of pace. You need some nades as well, Vince. They've gone for the SMGs, but they don't have the utility to hold back G2. And with the way they're set up deep inside of A main, this could go wrong quite quickly. Next up, spam down, but m0NESY up close, wields the AWP like a shotgun and blows away ropz. A missed Molotov, but a follow-up frag. And one by one, they fall. Their hopes and dreams lie on broky with just a deagle in his hands.
He's about to peek into NiKo. So played one in this position right now, it would be him. The initial spray is good. Mollied out of position with the flashes as well, and m0NESY returns the favor. AWP trained to perfection. And now Nexa needs to wide swing in. Karrigan stands his ground, drops the bomb and gets a second, giving a lifeline to FaZe.
A missed shot from m0NESY, and the problems are creeping in. FaZe are not giving up control of this game for free, and m0NESY falls as broky stands tall and gives them one more round.
Interestingly, Neo against Taz, all teammates. But in the here and now, hookzy has pushed up on the catwalk side, and Frozen spills his blood down there and retrieves the kill. And it's a clean kill at that, you know. A flashbang out, Frozen goes for the repeak, but he is stuck between players. He at least has some backup, but NiKo is going to punish him for overstaying.
Isn't it fitting that it's NiKo again to be activated? m0NESY waiting for the repeak, but broky has been the only one that can slow down the AWPing superstar of m0NESY in this round. He's removed, blown away by the AWP of G2, and it all falls onto the last two members. FaZe Clan's hope and dreams in the best of three is on ropz and Karrigan.
Karrigan typically comes alive in these moments, but he's been put to his death by Hunter, and that leaves ropz now with so much pressure, so much to do. Yes, he's got the first pick, but it's one of the hardest areas in Counter-Strike to burst out from. He at least has the smoke and flash to dart back into. Time is low, and Hunter shuts him down. G2 2-0 against FaZe and secure their spot at the Major. The first team in CS2 history to qualify for the Major.